Christmas bells, ding dong, ding dong. Welcome to Bad Influence, episode number 7, 10th of December 1992. This aired, and we are getting deep into the festive period now. In fact, it is the 1st of December today. I hope you have your Christmas trees up, or not.
Hello.
Hello.
To buy the games buff in your life for Christmas? Worry no more, as Bad Influence gives you the complete lowdown on the Christmas goodies, including our special guide to buying from abroad.
We've got a bit of tracking issue on the VCR here.
Called World of Illusion on the Mega Drive.
And I'll be lurking around the only museum
Hello, Z.
devoted to computers.
Ladies and gentlemen, actually, before we go any further, can anybody over the age of about 19 just leave the room for a second?
Oh, good God.
They gone? Right, the rest of you, come here. The next bit
See you guys.
is really for you, the games experts. It's what you might call a service to Santa. Get my drift? Just thought I'd let you know. Okay, so sorry about the next bit. Away you go. Right, they can come back in again now. Ladies and gentlemen, Bad Influence is proud to present its Idiot's Guide to Christmas Computers. I thank you.
The first decision you have to make is whether to buy a computer or a console.
I think you'll find that was probably the decision of my parents and the finances they had.
Cost less than most computers. They're very
Look at the cartridges on the Neo Geo. They are mammoth, aren't they? Look at that. It's like a house.
Designed to play games.
Computers have keyboards. And
Ooh,
cost more
Atari
than
STE.
£100 for the most popular ones. They require some technical skills to load
Well,
software.
A PC would probably set you back more than £400, Andy.
But they can be used for lots of things as well as games. Painting systems, like this one, word processing to make music, and so on and so forth. So if you just want to play games, go for a console. If you think you might want to do other things as well, pay the extra money and get a computer.
The consoles you'll see in the high...
Around this time, I think I had a Master System, or I was about to get a Master System, and a Commodore 64. I went down both routes, mainly because they were massively outdated.
The Master System and the NES.
Oh, look at that. I love seeing Master Systems on this program.
As 8-bit consoles and their old technology. We don't recommend buying them new. You can get 8-bit machines complete with a load of games, cheaply second-hand, as people sell them when they buy more expensive.
Yeah, but you don't get that new box smell, do you?
Consoles are called 16-bit. They are the Sega Mega Drive and the Super NES. They play faster games, have much better graphics and sound, and lots of games.
Technology.
But they're more expensive to buy, from about £130 upwards, and the games will cost you a lot more too.
Of course, you might want a handheld. There are 4 main ones, and they all come with a game. The cheapest is the Supervision, which
Oh, the Supervision, I remember that.
$39.95. It also has the cheapest games.
Interesting little artefact of its time.
It's the most popular, the Game Boy, which is around £70. Also monochrome, but with loads of great games, all at about £25 each.
And loads of great accessories.
Two colour handhelds. Games for both cost about £30. First, the Game Gear, which costs £100, but you can also turn it into a telly for an extra £60.
Plus another £1,000 in batteries over the year.
Tuner. Then there's this one, the Lynx, which also costs £100 and is technically probably the best, although there aren't so many games.
I love the Lynx.
Whichever system or handheld you buy, we recommend one bundled with a game, because it'll always be cheaper than buying the games separately, but do make sure they're actually games you want to play.
And one final word of warning. Don't buy anything advertised cheaply as discontinued or old stock. You might get a hardware bargain, but you may well never find any games to play on an out-of-date system.
Now back to up-to-date systems.
That's my whole life.
World of Illusion on the Mega Drive. In this
Surely if you buy a Commodore 64, there's hundreds of titles.
box and transported to a weird and wonderful world where nothing is quite what it seems. Here's James.
This is my kind of game.
World of Illusion. The sequel to Castle of Illusion.
It looked fantastic. You get to different levels by going through the strangest of places. That fishbowl took me into a giant room.
I mean, the Disney games did always look spot on, especially on the Mega Drive. Aladdin, Mickey Mouse. Even on the Master System, Quackshot looked awesome on the Master System. Never came to America, but
This is the
great
play
game.
mode. Mickey and Donald need to help each other to progress. It's all about solving puzzles by teamwork.
I mean, although these Mickey Mouse games look good, I could never really get into them myself.
It looks excellent.
I think they were just a bit too cutesy for my liking. Not enough exploding eyeballs and entrails.
Just like a cartoon. This is a massive game with huge levels. They've really thought about this game. There's some lovely touches. I'd definitely buy this one.
And so the final scores for Mickey and Donald World of Illusion. Everybody loved it. The boys gave it 5 out of 5 and the girls gave it 5 out of 5.
Lovely job.
Christmas bells, ding dong, ding dong. Christmas bells.
I didn't even know he sang that song in this episode.
Ah, hello, slimy furtlers. I'm just cleaning up the shed a bit, getting ready for Christmas. Anyway, here's a cheat for Tetris on the Game Boy. Now, if you're absolutely brilliant like me and you fancy a bit of a challenge, try this. On the title screen, press start and down together.
Oh, I like your gloves,
A
Nam.
little heart next to your level.
Fingerless gloves. Very
Now, if it's going too quickly for you pathetic types,
curious.
pause the game by pressing start. Now, normally, when you press start, you don't see which block is coming next. But if you now press select, and your next block will be revealed. So, you can have a little think.
I just get like I get a deep feeling of nostalgia just above my gut when I'm watching this program. I can't quite place it.
There. Just finished level 452. These handheld games
It's not even on.
are possible because of the way computers and computer chips
What a lying little toe rag.
few years. But here in Boston, they've just spent over $1 million to build the biggest computer in the world. Monster Machine has
I
a
bet
screen
it's slow as shit as well.
It has keys 30 centimeters across and boasts the biggest microchip in the world. And you can even see the electricity moving around inside.
That's not something to be proud of, is it? I mean, you can go back to the 1960s for
In
that.
this giant tracker ball, you can get the computer to tell you the shortest route between any two cities.
That's not user-friendly, is it?
Your starting city is Boston. Roll the ball, then click on the button to choose your destination.
I mean, that must have been one of the shortest attractions ever lived because technology advanced so quickly. It must have seemed like a joke.
Go through New York, Cincinnati, Oklahoma.
I mean, I guess it's got its quirky factor. A massive, massive ball.
The Mega Machine is the star exhibit at the Computer Museum in Boston. It's the only museum in the world that's dedicated to computers.
Look at that. That is not what you expect a computer museum to look like. It looks like it's out of RoboCop or something.
Games.
It needs to be smashed down and replaced with Delta City.
I'm
The only computer museum in the world, did he say? I mean, we've got loads now, haven't we? The Computer Museum in Cambridge, Computer Centre, what is it called? The Centre for Computing History. I love that place.
Boy.
Oh, I spent so much time on that little recording application with Windows. Just recording things, reversing things.
Built 47 years ago in 1945. It was used by the Army to work out where shells would
Is that bloke real? No, he's not, is he?
wanted to solve. How this gun could hit this target. Let's position the gun to 45
War!
degrees.
Never been so much fun. War has advanced technology so much. It's a sad state of affairs, isn't it? But the amount of money invested in military causes advancements in technology.
Chips. The whirlwind used valves, and they were so unreliable that it wouldn't work for more than a few minutes without breaking down. Lots of engineers
Sounds
would be
like
running around all the time
an Apple machine in the 80s.
Have broken and fix them quickly before the enemy tanks could move. One of the main uses of computers today is to produce and manipulate images. It's a computer that does this to me, and this, and this. Whoa!
And that guy's going places in terms of acting. He is up. The Zigger roll.
Probably surprised to be turned into a line drawing by the machine. This teapot is very famous. Why? Because a researcher called Martin Newell was looking for a simple curve-shaped object to program into his computer.
Look at that screen. That must be what? 19-inch?
He carefully photographed and measured it. Then he put all the coordinates into his computer.
I do miss big old
The
CRTs.
researcher simply borrowed Newell's data.
Smashing photons into your face.
Teapots was unleashed on the world. In the early days of computers and robots, a lot of people wondered whether machines would take over the world. This part of the museum
That's
is
a really
devoted to machines that can think for themselves.
scary 1920s, yeah, those robots just freak the shit out of me. I don't know if it's the old footage. They just look
the latest artificial intelligence machine.
Have you seen Saturn? Was it Saturn 3? The film Saturn 3, I think.
So clever that today we
scary as hell.
replace our cameraman with one.
Basically being chased by a massive killer robot.
Hello. Pull the plug.
Stay cool, Z. Help is on its way. There's more information on the Computer Museum in a data blast at the end of the programme. But now it's time for this week's news and previews.
Thank you, Violet.
First, a Mega Drive game that really is different and brilliant. Echo was a dolphin who lived a happy, carefree...
This is when Echo the dolphin first appeared. Amazing.
...in the sea.
Everyone went crazy for this game, didn't they? I couldn't quite...
Echo uses sonar to talk to others...
Put my finger on why.
...who solve the mystery.
I mean, the graphics are...
The music are some of the best we've ever experienced on Mega Drive.
That is true.
We'll be reviewing it when it's released in January.
If you just can't decide whether to buy a computer or a console, Amstrad have solved your dilemma. This is the cunningly named Mega PC, a business computer and Mega Drive rolled into one. To get it to a Mega Drive, you slide this panel across.
The Mega PC!
Plug in the joypad, like...
God, I want one of those!
And then put in your cart, like that, and you can hammer away at Sonic.
Did you just stick back? Oh, didn't they have... Yeah, you could do that, couldn't you? You could stick cartridges in them without a power button, and they'd turn themselves on.
...of games to be released on both 16-bit formats. This one takes you on an interdimensional...
Another world.
...uses cinematic zooms and close-ups to create the illusion of...
I love that bit, how you got like a little cut on your leg, and that's it, you are down, boy.
Shiver me butlers. This is a cheat for Monkey Island 2 on the Amiga. Now then, this game...
Oh my god, that fancy dress costume looks like it could go up any moment.
Cut!
If he goes near a candle, he is a goner.
Chop! Attack! Kill! Sorry. If you want to cut out the actual game playing, then try this. At the beginning of the game, press Alt and W together. You'll skip the entire game and win, and then you can give your 11 discs to your mum and dad's placemats. Where's that treasure? Have a look over here, maybe. No, this next. Aha! I'm rich! Go on, go away. Now, treasure. Somewhere around here. Can't find it anywhere.
That looks a bit like my room at times, all those cables knocking about.
Now this is my treasure, now go away!
Now for some more games reviews.
As Doctor Who returns to our telescreens, here's a new game for the Amiga, the ST...
Oh, is that Sylvester McCoy, Doctor?
Who Dalek Attack is a mid-price shoot-'em-up in the arcade style. Here's Amanda to tackle the Ogrons and the Daleks.
This has been very well animated and the sound's good. The graphics are a bit patchy.
Look at the difference in price of Amiga games, Spectrum games compared to the consoles. $16.99 for Amiga or PC. $7.90. Was that Spectrum? Did it say? Whoa, we've got Spectrum games being featured on Bad Influence. I mean, not on screen, but
serious firepower. This is more energy. I'm just getting some more energy now. You find yourself firing more or less constantly at this game. My arm is starting to hurt by now. This game is pretty relentless. There's always something to shoot at, and this can get a bit tedious after a while.
It reminds me a bit of the style of Werewolves of London on the Spectrum.
Very good value, but it's not the most exciting game in the world.
I was a fan of Doctor Who. I was really keen to see this.
You look like a fan of Doctor Who.
The sprites are a bit disappointing, but the enemies are excellent and the sound makes it work.
I think it's the waistcoat that does it.
This game, it's much too hard, and it's difficult to keep track of the Doctor against the background.
And the scores for Doctor Who, the boys gave it 3 out of 5, and the girls gave it 3 out of 5. Only average scores, I'm afraid.
Dragon's Lair on the SNES is a platform game with a very familiar storyline. Some ditty female has got herself captured by the baddies, and as usual, our hero has to rescue her. Where would we be without men? Here's Alex to play the
Bit of sarcasm there, Violet.
It's a hard game that you've really got to work at. I've seen this on the Amiga, but this system's a lot better. It's got great graphics and excellent sound. This game doesn't look like the original arcade version, but don't let that put you off.
No, it doesn't.
Sprites move really well, and the whole game is smooth scrolling. There are some lovely monsters in here, and the main sprite, Dirk the Daring, has a really unusual look.
It does look good. It looks a bit gangly, but, I mean...
Troll. One of my favourite sprites is this little fluorescent monster.
Super Nintendo games always seem to be animated so nicely.
Through to the end of the level.
I think the colour of the system helps.
It's complete, then this is definitely it. It's not perfect, but it's not far off. I'd definitely buy this game.
I thought this game was...
I'm pretty sure he ends every review by saying, I'd definitely buy this game.
It looks really good though, and I love
even if it's an atrocious pile of grub.
Great graphics. I like the way the hero moves. I'd definitely buy it.
I like the way you move.
There, the boys gave it a very good 4 out of 5, and the girls also gave it 4 out of 5.
Yay!
Ah, Furtlers, you catch me.
They have Doc Martens there, Nam. Very nice.
To my many friends and acquaintances. Andy, no, I don't think I'll bother this year. Violet, no, she didn't send me one last year. Zed, no, you can't spell his name. No, that's everybody. Oh well. This is a go faster cheat for exhaust heat on the SNES. Now it only works when you're already going flat out. What you do is hit the L and the R buttons together to go even...
That is one game I have never played.
100 kilometers an hour. Right.
Or
very busy. I've got
I can even remember.
Christmas preparations.
I'm looking forward to covering some Nintendo in the new year.
Yay! Dear.
Sad man. We've had a lot of letters and calls to the office recently asking, is it sensible to buy computers and games from America because they're so much cheaper?
They were so much cheaper in America.
Please, can you tell me whether or not American Mega Drives work in England? My dad says that they wouldn't because the electrical currents here are different. Is there anything you can do to change them?
Well, the answer is, Helen, it's complicated, but we'll try and explain it to you. Let's take as an example the machine you were talking about. The American version of the Mega Drive, or as they call it in the States, the Genesis.
The Genocide.
Including Sonic the Hedgehog, it will cost you $120, which, at the current rate of exchange, is £78.42.
Cheap as chips.
The package costs £129.99. So at first glance, it looks like a real...
I love those tellies.
But when you bring an American machine into Britain, you have to pay something called import duty and VAT.
Nah, don't worry about that, mate. Black market.
£97.31. And that's the price we import it at.
And you've got an American machine designed to run on American electricity, which uses different plugs. So, to use the American machine in this country, you'll need a British power plug, which costs around £15. So your total cost is now £112.
Of course, this was before the days you could go on eBay and pick up a cheap Chinese power supply for about £2, and then possibly cause a massive house fire.
TV. It's possible to get the machine converted, but it's very expensive.
However, some modern TVs have a special connector called a SCART. If you buy a SCART lead, another £10, you can connect them up. It should work.
Yeah, they didn't have SCART in America, do you?
And on some tellies, you'll only be able
to... It was a European thing.
And your total cost now is £122.31. A total saving of just £7, and you've no guarantee.
Which is a shame for Americans, because SCART did offer a very good picture.
£53. You'll still have to buy the SCART lead, and with the SNES, you'll need professional help to rewire the mains lead. SNES carts are different in America too, look. They're bulkier, they're a slightly different shape, and they've got protection.
So very blocky, the North American Super Nintendos, aren't they? Blocky case, blocky cartridges.
To run British SNES carts...
It seems to lack finesse and grace.
Another £15 or so, but then you'll need an American game to get round the protection. So put that
in. Is that Street Fighter? Final Fight? It's hard to make out on this picture quality.
The total cost of an American SNES to £158.53. And that's £10 more than the British SNES. And although at the moment most Mega Drive games will run in any country, we've heard that Sega are to start building in protection.
But what about handhelds? The machines and the games are universal, but you will still have problems with the power leads and TV tuners, and the saving on handhelds are very small anyway.
Of course, whatever game or machine you're thinking of buying in any country, check it out first in the Bad Influence magazine.
I might have to do a video on the Bad Influence magazines. There's only 2. Shouldn't take long.
Envelope, we'll send you a printed fact sheet.
Last week's competition was to win a Menasa.
I knew someone at work once who tried to send the facts, and it came back out of the fax machine. They were like, "Oh, it hasn't been sent." They actually thought that the fax, the paper would disappear and like fly down the phone line and come out of the other fax machine. Just brilliant logic.
East Grinstead, West Sussex. Well done, Chris. All that stuff's on its way to you, mate.
In this week's competition,
mate, you've won a Menasa.
3 Atari Lynxes with Batman Returns. The question is this.
What prize. They must have been about 50 quid at this point. They went through a massive price reduction.
Is the American TV transmission system called?
NTSC.
To the usual address, mark competition to arrive by no later.
I have done a video on PAL versus NTSC if you are interested. I might pop a link on it, or otherwise you can just look back through my back catalogue. Anyway, thank you for watching this episode of Bad Influence. We are deep into the Christmas season, so I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.